Hi, guys. Welcome back to Real Love, Real Life podcast. I'm your host, Jasmine.
And I'm Ernesto.
How are you?
Good. What about you? We made it.
We made it. I'm good. Um, we have like kind of a sensitive topic, but before we get started, I do just want to acknowledge first the passing of Charlie Kirk. I know that for a lot of people, it's like, oh, it's just another, like person on social media or
Yeah.
something like that. But I mean, I literally I feel like I don't scroll. And whenever I was going to give myself some time to scroll, it was like to watch,
Yeah.
to go and find him. That was like the only person I would watch when they would go live uh, and things like that. So I really looked up to him. I really liked him. And, I'm praying for him and for his family. And it's just such a sad situation.
Yeah, that's what's crazy. And, you know, the reason why, he was taken from this earth is what we're literally doing right now, exercising our First Amendment and free speech on having this platform to talk and express our views. And, that's what I feel like is the scariest part about it is, you're out there exercising your right and, you get taken out like that. And in front of everybody, it's like, they're trying to send a message. So it's like we have to, be firm and, hold it down. But also, don't hate the sinner, hate the sin.
Yeah.
That guy made a bad decision, and I hope the Lord forgives him. But, fighting fire with fire is only going to make it worse. An eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. So we have to, respond to this, calculated, not emotional. It's easy to get emotional and go get the get back,
Yeah.
especially, coming from the neighborhood and all that, they take one of your boys out that night, everybody's loading up to go,
Yeah.
go hit their block up, and then there's another tragedy, and it's an ongoing thing. And I feel like a lot of people that have no remorse for this, like you've never experienced that. Like I've lost friends to the streets. Like there's multiple nights, but I remember one night specifically where we're coming home from the homecoming, walking home in the neighborhood. It was about 10 o'clock at night. We were freshmen, you know, people we had problems with just rolled up, and I already knew what it was. 10 o'clock at night, it's nighttime, man. They're infamous for that. I took cover behind a car. My buddy kept walking, and it was a bold move, and there's a reason why he got shot and I didn't. I took cover. I knew what was gonna happen, and he got shot. Luckily, he's still alive to this day, but like he was literally 50 yards from his house. Happened
Wow.
we used to live right by each other, like 5-minute walk.
Yeah.
And he literally ran home. As he ran home, his brother was in the hallway on the ground taking cover, because they shot about 9 times.
Wow.
Yeah, they shot about 9 times, and then so he was taking cover in the hallway. So he ran in, shot, and his brother wrapped the shirt around him, and hey, thankfully I feel like the ambulance got there quick, because by the time I was running so fast, I skipped my house. I just kept running. And by the time I realized, like, damn, I had made it back to the neighborhood, the block. And, one phone call, and then his brother called me, hey, George shot. And by the time I made it back to his house, the ambulance was there. And it's just like, that's one of my good friends growing up. And I was like, we don't know if we're going to lose him or not, and other friends that I know, and they passed away from getting shot. And it's like, when you've dealt with this firsthand, it's like,
Yeah.
it's not a joke.
Yeah. It's definitely heavy. And that's why at first the topic was going to be, raising kids right now in such a scary world. And then this happens. And the same day that happened, something tragic also happened at a school. And it's so much. And I feel like everybody wants you to talk about it, but everybody wants you to share the way they want to hear it. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like once you gain a little bit of followers, people are like, use your platform. Use your platform. Okay, I'll use my platform. But then the moment that I use it, it's like, I didn't want you to use it that way.
Yeah.
I didn't want you to say that. I wanted you to say this. And
you can't make them happy.
It was, so I never really keep track of like my following and stuff, but I don't remember what it was that I went to my profile that day. We were at your mom's house. What was this, on Wednesday? Okay. And we saw everything that had happened with Charlie Kirk. I still didn't know about the school incident in Denver. And I post about the Charlie Kirk situation. And well, we started celebrating your mom. You know, I had put my phone down. I think I had made 2 posts about him that literally just said, like, you know, praying for like Charlie Kirk's family. It was just condolences. It wasn't, again, nothing political, nothing.
Yeah, you're not taking shots at nobody.
It was literally like, rest in peace, you know, I'm so heartbroken. I think I put that I was like beyond sad and heartbroken. That was it. And I put my phone down. We celebrated your mom. Again, I didn't know about the Denver situation. We had the news on the whole time, but the entire time it was playing about, you know, Charlie Kirk. So by the time I get home, I had lost over 200 followers because I posted rest in peace, Charlie Kirk.
People are offended.
Like, the fact that people can get offended by you, like, acknowledging somebody that passed so tragically is...
That's different type of wickedness in
that's,
this world.
I'm like, for one, I don't care. If you left, like, if you hit that unfollow, bye, see you later, like, you weren't supposed to be here in the first place. And I don't want you to be here. But I thought that was so crazy. I'm like, somebody did message me and told me, like, about, you know, you're not acknowledging, you know, the kids in Denver and all that. By then, I learned about it. I opened up TikTok and started seeing more stuff about it. And I responded to her and I was like, hey, first of all, I didn't know anything about this because all that's been on the news and everywhere is this situation, not the other, but it doesn't make it more or less.
Yeah.
A tragedy is a tragedy. And, you know, the loss of lives we're not going to sit here and debate about whose life was more important.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, really? Like, people are more concerned about that than like, you're the problem.
Yeah.
You're the problem. And thanks for not being here.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about at work. I'm just sitting there like, imagine if you're having like a horrible day because your dad passed away or somebody close to you passes away and you're sad and somebody asks, hey, what's wrong? Oh, so-and-so passed away. Oh, man, there's kids starving over here. Like, get over it. You know, knock some sense into you. Like, like, that's what I was thinking of that analogy. I'm just like, bro, whether, you know, you agree with him or not, it's like all loss of life is tragic. But the thing about that separates this, though, is like, you know, like I said, every loss is tragic. Mm-hmm. But it's like, it's a political, you know, assassination. Like, he's protecting the First Amendment and he gets killed for that. That's...
Yeah.
Like, it's more bigger than him at this point. That's an attack on every American citizen.
I think at this point, like, it wasn't just news. Like, this is something that literally, like, rippled through, like, everyone, families, the entire country, except for, you know, the ones that want to be in their little bubble and think that, you know, it's their way or the highway. But I think really, like, this was something like, hey, it's not... Yeah, like, it's too far.
It's too far. It's like, even when you're arguing with somebody, it's like, even if getting into a fist fight, that's... Yeah. Once the first punch is thrown, it's like, everything goes out the window. You know what I'm saying? Just like he said, once the two sides stop talking, that leads to violence. So it's like you got to think about it. Having the integrity and all that to go and debate people, man, that's very powerful.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, like, we didn't know him
Yeah.
personally or anything like that. But like I said, like, I liked watching him. Just like if, God forbid, any other person that I would watch or, any other influencer, content creator, like, I'm going to just share about it and acknowledge it. Like, it has nothing to do like with politics. I'm not like disrespecting you. I'm not disrespecting the kids that lost their life in Colorado.
Yeah.
Like, I think like when it comes to things like that, like then people just become like overly like sensitive. And
Yeah.
I actually made a post about it today. I thought it was like funny because that's literally how I've been. Anytime something happens, I feel like any creator that like has a following can relate. Something happens, anything. People are like, speak up. You speak up, but you have so much following that you have
Yeah.
people with different opinions, and you have other people that are like, no, that's not it. You're not right.
Yo,
And then you're like, but that's what I believe in. That's what I think. And they're like, well, now I'm unfollowing you.
yeah.
Like,
Crazy.
I don't know. I think social media is good, but it can also be so bad.
Yeah, there's two sides to every coin, so just how convenient it is, it can also be very malicious, and obviously the trolls, the bullies, that can get to you. But it's just, I feel like it's just very tragic because that's a person with a lot of power and influence,
Yeah.
and they took him out. So the average Joe, I mean, do you stand a chance? Most likely not.
Yeah. I mean, our kids listened to him.
Yeah.
That's how you know his message was getting out. Like, at this point, if your kids are listening to them, like listening to him, like they found him. And like I said, they never heard of me listening to him. It would be like a nighttime thing. I'd go, once I'm winding down, I'd hop on, like if they were doing a live or the podcast, anything like that. But them on their own, they started listening to him and they looked up to him. I will say that, so we're believers and all of that, but we don't go to church. We talk about God. We talk about God to the kids, all of that. But they've kind of just been all the time like, about it. I did notice that when they started listening to him, they were a lot more interested.
Yeah.
They were looking things up. They downloaded the Bible app. And I think a couple of weeks ago, didn't I tell you that I had walked into our oldest room and he was actually reading the Bible.
Dang.
Which was like, I had never, we have 2 Bibles in our house and I had never seen them touch it or anything. And he was reading it and he was like all of a sudden interested in it. And I mean, if a person has an influence on a 14-year-old kid like that, that's powerful.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's why they want to take you out. But then again, that's the scary part because we tell our kids to be exactly like this person, right? Like, stand your ground and do what you think is right. Stand on your beliefs, but then you do it and they take you out. Like,
yeah, it's definitely a tough time to raise like masculine young men that are selfless, that think about others before themselves, and and for that to happen on like a national stage, it kind of it's meant to send a message of you don't have a voice, but that's what makes this country great, is that First Amendment, your free speech. Whether if it's not harmful, they can say whatever they want. They can say, hey, you're a POS and I hate you and this and that, but at the end of the day, they have every right to tell you that.
Yeah.
But once you stop that dialogue, it gets dangerous because like I was talking to my buddy at work. I'm like, man, I was like, coming from the neighborhood, man, you're ready to throw hands whenever. And it's like, he can articulate himself and debate. And
Yeah.
like, even as an adult, like confrontation, or if you disagree with somebody, it can get very awkward with a lot of tension. But the fact that he can articulate himself and not get quote unquote like ratchet,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
man, once you start,
Like I feel like he, was practicing his freedom of speech, and he also, I mean, he would give you a microphone to do it too.
yeah, debate me, I'm just like,
Yeah.
hey, you gotta respect it.
Yeah.
He's
'Cause
10 toes down.
Not a lot of people like can do that.
That's tough. And like, there's a lot of people that gave him like good debates, but a lot of people just walked up and just got fired up and like
Yeah.
just emotional. It's like you're
It's
not
that.
really
It's
there.
emotion.
And it's like that's what's wrong with debating now too. It's like we debate to win. Like, no, let's just debate, or like let's just hear
Yeah.
each other's perspective. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you don't have to win a debate necessarily. Let's
But I
just
mean,
put our perspectives together, and the truth is the truth, and let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
You can't now. I feel like everybody is like, or majority, like way too emotional. Obviously, it can end up like this in this tragic situation, or I feel like people want to start fighting or
Yeah.
something like that. Like you can't sit down and talk about someone with
It's
something
tough.
because
Like, even like, look at my dad.
yeah,
This world is crazy, guys.
it's like it.
But look at yesterday was a perfect example. Like, I wouldn't say we're more in the middle, but we're more on the conservative side, but not as far as like far right as radicalized. Just we're conservative. We believe in God. We
Yeah.
believe in the family. We believe in this country, and but also we believe in progression and evolving. Also education. Coming from a Hispanic background, we don't really
Yeah.
prioritize education, but if we don't better ourselves and the generations that come, we're just gonna be stuck in the same
Yeah.
cul-de-sac, just going in circles.
Yeah.
So it's like, and that's the thing. I feel like you did follow him more than me. I definitely liked a lot of his points. Some stuff I did disagree with. But as far as that is like, he captivated the youth. The youth loved him. They also hated him. But you just have to admire somebody with that much courage to go into the lion's den and debate.
Yeah.
But also put God first. Because at the end of the day, man, the ones that speak his name are the ones that are persecuted.
Yeah. I will say, like, I've never, my platform is not about politics, anything like that, like none of that. But I will say, like, he definitely was the reason why I started being a little bit more opened as to like what I believe in and stuff. I feel like before I used to like hold it back like a lot. Like, I'm not going to do that. I'm just not going to even open that door. And then when I started like listening to him a lot, I was like, I have to stop being like scared of that,
Yeah.
Like, God is going to put the right people like in your place. People are gonna go, some people are gonna come. Like, it's all, I can't just like close my mind into like, I can't lose a follower. I can't do this.
Yeah.
Like, I can't. No, like, I rather you not like me for who I am than you like me for somebody that like I'm pretending to be.
Yeah, and
Like-
that's the thing. You're not a gimmick, so you've always been real on your platforms. And there is a lot of people though that have a different view, but they still follow you because they're mature.
Oh yeah.
And that's what also is coming out of this. Like, it's separating the line between like deranged and obviously opposition, but they're like, hey, this is too far.
Yeah.
There's the people that are on the opposition that are like, like, hey man, this is too far, and you got the people celebrating it. So this is kind of showing who's really wicked.
Yeah.
Like, that's just wickedness. I don't care what nobody says.
Yeah.
Like, when you've lost people to gun violence, it is not a joke. Like,
No.
I've, you know, what's crazy, that same story I was talking about earlier, that when my friend had gotten shot, that was in September of about 2010, homecoming. September, October. No, September. He got shot, right? Well, Halloween night, the next month, my other buddy got shot. He got shot up close range by two different guns, two different calibers, and he survived that, luckily. And in the following year in January, my same friend that had got shot, they did a home invasion in his house and killed his brother. I actually went to that house that following. He died on, I believe, like a Friday. I went there on like a Monday while they were moving their stuff out, like seeing the bullet holes in the ground, the bullet holes through the like wall, through the fridge, like blood splattered on the blinds, like,
That's crazy.
you know, seeing, like, being exposed to that as a kid, like, yeah, I put myself in those positions, but like, once you know, like, the aftermath of gun violence, it's very traumatic. And man, those bullets don't have names, man. Once that trigger is pulled, it doesn't matter who's in the way. It's taking everything in its path with it. So, you know, and to see him like getting killed like that, oh man, it made me sick to my stomach. And the worst part is the kids watching this.
That's where I was going, like, next is, you know, what do you don't want to overexpose your kids, like, to darkness, but you also don't want to raise them naive. You know, we already have a almost 15-year-old and almost 13-year-old. And it's like, obviously I wouldn't have like wanted them to watch that horrific like video. But again, you know, we allow them to like have TikTok and stuff. So they saw it. But then again, I'm like, a part of me was like, you know, the loving, you know, caring mom doesn't want them to watch it. But then it's like, how much do you talk to them, or how much should they see? I think because what if like the first time they ever like go through something or see something, like they're going to be like in shock or traumatized, you know? Like, am I making sense?
No, that makes sense.
Like how much is like too much with kids?
They definitely need to see, you know, to a certain point, you know, the consequences of your decisions, you know. And that guy made, you know, he made, you know, such a bad decision in doing that, because two lives are lost. His life is lost and Charlie's life is lost. So, you know, and he's probably going to face a harsh punishment, because Utah still has, you know, they still got the death penalty. So it's like, they're going to move swift and hard on him. And, you know, and that's the thing, guys. It takes the bigger person to, even if somebody does you wrong, you somehow have to be the bigger person. And I'd be like, hey, man, that's easy for you to say. But it's like, if you, like I said, if you fight fire with fire, it only gets bigger. And eye for an eye makes the world blind. So, you know, you got to pray for him too.
Yeah.
You know, the bad side got to him, you know, it got to him, and he made that decision, and at the end of the day, this comes down to good and evil, guys. Like, to do such a horrendous act in front of people, like,
I think it's obviously like, when you grow up, you know, once your kids grow up, you kind of have no control.
Yeah.
Over like the things that they do and all that. But I feel like it is so important to raise emotional, intelligent kids.
Yeah.
You know, talk to your kids once in a while, you know, like ask them, start a conversation with them, ask them about stuff. And how did that make you feel?
Yo.
Or, you know, like things that they might be like, ask them questions that they might be holding in. And maybe all they wanted was for you to ask.
Yo.
Hey, this happened. Okay. How does it make you feel? Like, I feel like, you know, parents can just be also like so lost in like the work and real life stuff that it's
Yo.
like, when was the last time you had a conversation with your kid? When was the last time you fucking looked through their backpack?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the kids come home all the time. Mom, I walked in the bathroom. All it smelled like was this or
Vapes.
that, or there was smoke like in the bathroom.
And they're at the age where like kids are starting to watch inappropriate stuff, so
Yeah.
they're sharing it around. And
Our middle child that is in 7th grade said that he was coming back from lunch, so he has to go through this hallway. So he's like, I had to go to the bathroom. So I went to the like 5th grade side, like to the 5th grade bathroom. And he's like, the 2 kids that walked out like clearly had just like vaped in there.
dang,
In 5th grade.
that's crazy.
And I'm just like, I don't know. I don't ever want to say like, oh, you know, it's never gonna happen to me, and you know, things like that. Like, I don't want to be try to be the perfect parent over here, but I hope that I have put like enough respect and at least a little bit of fear in my kids that they know better.
Yo.
They know better because we talk about these things, right?
Yeah.
Like we're open. Again, like some people might think, oh, you know, you're exposing them to know stuff they shouldn't know. No, they need to know that I'm gonna fuck them up if they get into something like that.
Yeah, and I think didn't his dad turn him in?
The
The
guy
guy who did his
Charlie
dad turned him in,
Kirk,
or
I
somebody
think
in his
so,
family
yeah.
turned him in.
Yeah.
So it's like he did something wrong. The fact that his family had enough like integrity to turn him in,
Yeah.
that speaks a lot about them. You know, it's like because there's people that be like that will cover for you, and it's like, man,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, there's right and wrong, and you
I
have to
mean,
have enough integrity to stand on the truth and be like, hey, man,
the Gabby, I don't know if you've ever watched that. I've watched that documentary, the Gabby Petito,
sounds familiar.
and Brian, I don't know his name, but so he got rid of her. And there was like an ongoing like investigation for a really long time, things like that. And his parents like helped him so much for so long, hiding
Is that the
hiding
guy
him.
that was in California?
So they
He
were
went to like the lake house. Somebody else?
No. So there were a couple, and they bought a van to travel in because that's what they wanted to
I
do.
know what you're talking about.
And well, and when he came back home, in her van,
Yeah,
in
yeah, I
her travel
remember that
van.
one.
So it's like, dude, you're home, the van is here, and the parents like covered it up for so
crazy.
long, and it's like, no, I don't care. Like, if that's my kid, you gotta go. Like, you did something horrible like that. I'm sorry. I'm turning you
I
in.
raised you better than
Yeah.
that. And that's the thing, man. We can try our best, and hopefully, you know. But I think the difference with our kids is, you know, they're starting to learn. And that's the thing. People hear like fear God, like he's bad, but it's like once you fear him and follow his rule, you really start to see wisdom and knowledge like no other. You know?
Yeah.
Cause you think about like, man, I really shouldn't be doing this. That's you know, isn't that crazy how we have like a voice in our head that's telling you like, hey, you shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah. I mean, we were just talking about this the other day. We were like, I told you, I hope that the way we're raising the boys and the way that we talk to them, whenever something happens, whatever it is that they go through, I hope that they can be like, I'm probably going to be in deep stuff, but I'm going to go tell my parents.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about, I don't know if I could say the word, suicidal. Like, you know, we've had it like in our family and stuff, and like the mental health issues and kind of just parents like overlooking it and stuff.
Yeah, a lot of red flags.
A lot of red flags. Like, pay attention to these red flags. You know, you don't have to be like this perfect parent, but you know, if your kid is showing signs that like they don't want to be here
like
and stuff,
depression.
like, hey, you can look for help. Yeah, therapy is expensive, but I'm sure that you can find some resources like that aren't too like,
or just, hey, what do you want to do this weekend? You pick.
maybe that's what they need.
I just want to go walk around the mall. Let's go. You know, and yeah, it's kind of sad. And you know, we're guilty as parents. Sometimes we get too caught up, but I feel like we try to balance it as well. Like, you know, last weekend I took it. Well, it was kind of half and half. Some of the boys stayed with you. I took some of the boys.
Mm-hmm.
So you stayed working. I went to the lake.
Yeah.
And you know, they had a good time. They're not worried about stuff that happened at school or whatever. They're just worried about jumping off a cliff and, you know, jumping in the water, fishing, having a good time. And, you know, that when they go back to the school, hey, what'd you do? Oh, I went to the lake this weekend. Oh, lucky.
Yeah.
Because there's kids that like, I remember when I was growing up, I went hunting, I went fishing.
Yeah.
Or mostly hunting. Like, I just got back from hunting with my dad, and they're like, oh, what? Lucky.
Yeah.
And I'm like, to me, that was foreign because kids are like, what is that? Or like, oh, and I'm like, you don't go hunting?
That's literally when you guys went hunting in October. Not like when you and all the boys went. When you guys went, like you, your dad, and Kevin.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't go to school for like 4 days, and he said he comes back and, you know, everybody's like, oh, where have you been? Like, everybody thought, like, you know, he was sick or something. Also because there was no signal out there where you guys were. Yeah. So he wasn't on his phone. So everybody thought something had happened to him, like his little buddies, his group chat, he wasn't responding. And he's like, I went hunting with my dad and my grandpa. And they didn't believe him.
For real?
They didn't believe him. They were like, you did not, like, go hunting and did not have a phone for 4 days. He's like, we were hunting way out there, no signal. My dad was like cooking on a little like skillet. You know, he told me, he's like, we literally like it was so cold.
Yeah, it was like off the grid type. It was crazy. And
kids didn't believe him that he was literally like off the grid with you guys because kids don't do this anymore. Yeah. They don't experience this.
And it's like, that's why I like hunting and like, because it's not just hunting. It's not that you're out there going to take out Bambi. It's wildlife conservation. Like, yeah, it's a circle of life, guys. It's as simple as the Lion King. You know, there's too much grass eaters, they destroy the environment. Yeah, too much meat eaters, you know, they also do as much harm. So it's a balance, and the lessons that you learn hunting, you also appreciate. You learn to appreciate. Because nothing is handed to you out there. You have to go and walk 5-10 miles. Yeah. You might have to go through some cactus, you know what I mean? Something. But the reward and, you know, the satisfaction and the blessing of being able to harvest something is, you know, you have to work for it. Yeah. So you learn to appreciate it more. It's not just like going to Burger King right there on the corner and be, hey, let me get a number one. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's, you got to go and work for it. And it's an art. It's really an art. And the stuff you learn as a young man, I feel like it will just carry you through life. Mm-hmm. You learn to be resilient, you know, rely not only on yourself, but others. So, you know, we're trying our best to raise these young boys to be, you know, hopefully in the future, strong men that can be a beacon of light and be there for people when, you know, they need a helping hand. And, you know, we have to be strong in these times. We can't back down. You can't back down. You can't. I mean, it's scary, but they're here. And
they're becoming little men already. And all we can do is like push forward and literally like try our best for them to be good humans.
Yeah.
Like really every day when I drop them off, I literally tell them this every single day. I'm like, drink water and be kind. Drink water and be nice. Like that's please.
Yo.
You literally just because I mean I would want obviously I want that for them. I want them to be able to go to school and, feel safe and people to be nice to them because, every kid is a good kid. It's just that, you'd never know what's going on at home. And I think all of this at the end of the day, like
Starts at home.
it all starts at home, like the mental health. This guy that, took out Charlie, the guy that was at the school in Denver, like all of this is a mental health situation. It's not about the weapons. The guy on the bus that took out the girl, like mental health issues.
Yo.
I don't think we have a weapon, problem. I think we have a more personal problem, a more mental health problem.
Yup. Well, think about it. Look at my dad back in the day. I forgot where he lived, but like everybody had trucks in high school, and they literally had a rack with a shotgun in the back. And as soon as they would get out of school, they would go hunting. It's like, when would you ever see stuff like that back in the day? And if there was, the students would, hold it down for the school.
Yeah.
Like everybody stuck together, and it's crazy. I know a lot of people are going through it. Anybody with common sense, is like, hey man, that was just an attack on him. It was an attack on all of us, our freedoms. Yeah. So it's like, what? We can't go into public and speak our opinion now?
Yeah.
What are we, animals? Come on, like, his loss was tragic. Every loss is tragic, but the best thing to come out of this is for us to unite and, put our differences aside. And at the end of the day, whatever we leave for our kids is like, we're going to leave them in this cold world like this, or we're going to, change stuff. It should be better by now, but it just seems like it's just getting worse and worse.
Yeah. It's scary. It's definitely a scary situation, but I mean, we have no control over other, like, anybody else, anything else other than like our household, like our people, and our kids are the future. So look after them and make sure that they're good, kind humans.
Yo, just stick to the fundamentals, Mm-hmm. Just be kind, be nice. Even if somebody does you wrong, forgive them. Be the bigger person. Carry yourself in the most upright, be a competent person. And just, you got to tell them, like, too, like, you can't paint this world as, like, sunshine and rainbows. Like, it's a cold world. You're going to suffer a little bit, but you got to go through the fire to become gold. You could say it's a corny line, but it's true.
Yeah.
The sword is forged in the fire. Beaten, put in water, back in the fire, beating over and over and over and over. But that's why you have to build your house on the rocks and not the sand, so you have a sturdy foundation. Have a good moral compass, and always try to stay grounded. Nobody's perfect, but sometimes we need a little humbling, and you just got to try your best, guys, and keep your head up.
Well, remember to drink your water and be kind. And it's not about politics. It's literally, it was a person with a huge heart and literally like a light, especially for the young generation. And that's it.
Yep. So guys, just like she said, be kind, be nice. And if you're not a believer, I suggest you look, you read the word, and there is no greater truth. Jesus came, lived the perfect life, and died for you and rose for us. We're not worthy, guys. We're gonna sin. We're always gonna fall short of the glory of God.
Yeah.
But if we can accept that and accept Jesus in our life, guys, and he will never fail you or forsake you as long as you try and believe. But it's also tough, guys. It's also tough believing in that. Cause yeah, that's a tragic event. You can be like, people can say, hey, if he exists, why did he allow that to happen? But that's the beauty of free will, guys. We can either, use this blessing to amplify his love and his mercy, or we can just throw it all to the drain, So it's up to us, and the true knowledge starts in the fear of God. So we have to pray, be resilient, and carry the torch, guys. Be the beacon of light. Like I always use a reference, man. Sometimes we need to be that lighthouse, man, shining that light, and that ship is lost at sea. And we're here to help each other and uplift each other. We're not better than each other. We're here to help each other. So let's just be the best versions of ourselves, and we'll end it with that, guys. So
Yeah. I hope you liked this episode. Love you guys. See you
later,
on the next
guys.
one.
Bye.
Bye.